In this episode, we're going to be speaking with Mr. Raju Venkatraman, who is the Managing Director and CEO of Medall Systems. Raju, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Could you start off by introducing to us what Medall is?
Medall is a medical diagnostic service provider. Today we touch about 2.5 to 3 million people in South India. We employ over 1,800 people. We provide radiology, lab, health check services all over South India. And my passion and dream was not just to serve the major metros like Chennai and Bangalore, but to also get down to small towns like Aruppukkottai, Arantangi, and so forth. So today I'm happy to say we have over 100 centers, and we are having close to 400 plus points of presence where we collect blood and so on. And we are the 4th largest diagnostic service company in less than 3 to 4 years. And the whole idea behind Medall is to provide diagnostic services to all income levels.
Let's talk about your entrepreneurial journey, because you're quite a serial entrepreneur yourself. And so very briefly, can you just touch upon the various companies that you founded? And I have a follow-up question, interesting question after that.
My entrepreneurial journey, the real one started in US, where I started a company called Vetri Systems. And the reason I say real is, in my 11th standard, I started a small agarbatti brand which became a big success.
Oh, is that?
So I learned how to sell, how to deliver, and how to collect, and all coached by my parents, my father.
So I'd love to touch upon that. Can you explain that 11th standard agarbatti business?
See, my father had a hobby of producing chemicals and perfumes, and I always felt that he was not a marketeer. So I went to a bunch of distributors and gave them, and one of them we white labeled. I didn't know that term. So we labeled in his brand, and at that time the movie was Shankarabaranam. So I created the package, the whole costing, and gave him the product, and he had a fantastic distribution system, so that became a big hit. But I had to abandon that when I went to IIT Madras. But subsequently my real entrepreneurial journey was in America, where I started a digital imaging software company, where we were automating scanning. And at that time there were no scanners of commercial scales. Very few large business houses were still dependent on paper. So I won several industry awards for technological innovation. And I also saw the satellite link coming to India in 92. So in 93, I started a subsidiary in India to do software development work. That was a company called Vetri Systems in the US and Vetri Software here. Fortunately, grew to about 5,000 plus people, and I sold it, exited, wanted to retire, didn't successfully retire, then ended up starting another business called Rev IT, which I sold to ICICI OneSource, which was a BPO business. And I was there, part of the business, growing it from $40 million to $400 million. So I learned a lot in how to go take a company public and how to raise money. And now this is my 3rd venture, and I'm passionate about touching the lives of people in the rural. That's what drives me.
So answer this for me, Raju. When you've sold 2 companies and you have your bank balances hale and healthy, what is it that still drives you, to be a business guy, to grow bigger? So I would imagine, just chilling out.
I tried, I failed miserably. I don't know how to retire. But to be very honest, I come from the philosophy that a few people are given a talent, and it is our job, those who are gifted, to go find ways to go about improving and touching lives of people. I tried the NGO route, non-profit organization, but I didn't find it very interesting for me. I found that I was not so good at raising money from somebody and servicing someone else. The governance was missing. So I like for-profit companies. And I also come from the philosophy that I must earn my livelihood every day. And what I earned is not relevant. So I simulate survival every single morning in my life. I always say to myself and to my family that if you are a lion, the food is not going to come to you. You got to go and hunt. And so I feel that I need to continue to hunt as much as I can and hopefully retire peacefully with the money that I made.
Who has been your inspiration in life?
The biggest has been my father who is no more. He was a very small-time entrepreneur and he worked for a company, but he instilled the idea that I must give job to 20 people. That's all he woke up to every single morning, he would say that. He wanted me to have a chemical factory, but that dream never came true. Hopefully that will get fulfilled one day. But the others, quite a lot of people have inspired me throughout my life. One great leader was Ross Perot. The company that I worked for was EDS, phenomenal entrepreneur. I met him for 17 seconds in my life, and whatever he taught us through his videos in those days, the scale in which he built IT company was really fascinating. Then again, several other spiritual leaders too that have come in my life to help me understand the broader perspectives, including Shankaracharyas and right now Jaggi Vasudev of Isha. I really like the way they are so passionate about taking their ideas to the rural and touching the lives and trying to create something meaningful. So I would say that I enjoy what I do and I get inspired by the successes of great people like Narayan Murthy, Premji. All of them have done a phenomenal job. So I enjoy every one of those kinds of things, and I feel that I can create a few ripples, if not a waves.
So I ask this for every successful person, is that most people make mistakes, but they're also quick to bounce back. What has been some of your biggest failures in life, and how did you overcome them? What lesson did you learn from that experience?
Quite a lot. Failures have been enormous. I would say that I make at least 4 decisions right out of every 7 decisions I take, but 3 of them are wrong. But the biggest one was when I didn't have any money. I signed up with a customer called IHS, Information Handling Services, and it was a $1 million contract, and we were automating their engineering drawing manuals for product, fairly complex technology. But came to India, hired 60 engineers, was very successful in other areas, in insurance, in legal businesses. But here we failed. We couldn't deliver. Our engineers were not willing to follow the process that was dictated to us. We couldn't write the program to reverse engineer their search engines. I went back and gave them $1 million, $500,000 advance to them when I didn't have the money. But I felt very good. It created significant stress. I didn't want them to tarnish my image, but believe it or not, subsequently, just because of their reference, I got $10-12 million of business for the credibility that we brought in at that point in time. So I say that it is important that we don't have short-term wins. We have customers for life. We have people who are going to be with us, who are passionate. So the mantra that we use is passion, competence, and commitment. So if these 3 are there, we keep on doing what we know.
Quite a lot of students are actually following these leadership podcast series. What would be your advice for them?
My sincere advice is to get involved in extracurricular activities. I really think that if I look back, playing basketball in IIT for me was absolutely character defining for me. Teamwork is important today. Organizing basketball national level tournaments, Gerard Fisher that I did, raised 3 lakhs in those days, I'm talking 78, 79, were absolutely brilliant because managing that budget gave me a confidence that I can now add multiple zeros to it. So get involved, get immersed, develop your skills, and also embrace diversity. Many a times I see a lot of young kids just mingling with their own likes. College life is beautiful when you can deal with multiple levels of people. There are so many different people. So embrace it and do something. Don't keep on thinking and just sit in the, checking the virtual world. The real world is actually more fun. So just get immersed in what you do, enjoy it, have fun, and make sure that you do something. And if you make lots of mistakes, it's fantastic. If you don't make mistakes, then you have not learned much from your college life.
One penultimate question. Work productivity. Do you follow any kind of hacks or some tips that has really helped you perform your task much better?
I have fantastic daily rhythms. If I miss my rhythm, I can't continue. I have my great weekly rhythms, monthly, quarterly, annual vacations. So I have learned over time. I went to Franklin Covey Institute to learn time management because I felt I was not organized as Americans are, and maintained my time log. Today it comes to me naturally. I have secretaries to manage my schedule. But it's very important as a student to maintain your time log. Where are you wasting your time? Are you spending too much time with the same people? So I always say that Mukesh Ambani and I have only one thing in common, which is 24 hours in a day. And I must use it wiser than him because I don't have what he has.
Give us a little insight into your daily, walk us through what you go through.
Irrespective of what time I sleep, I get up by 5:36. That is almost 3 hours before I start my work. And first 1.5 hours is completely for me. I will have somebody give me cups of teas, 2 or 3 teas. I might meditate. I might listen to music. I will reflect on my day ahead, month ahead. Almost every day. It's a 2-hour ritual for me. Then very intense. Nobody can talk to me in the morning. Unfortunately, my family hates me for that. Then I'm working from 9 to 7 most of the days. Some days there are dinners. But I manage to get about 6-7 hours a week for my family. I'm with my son or with my daughter. I miss my time. I used to enjoy Carnatic music, but living in Chennai, I don't go for enough. I hate movies. I don't see movies. I watch a few shows like Aditya Channel every night to chill off. I do Sudoku to completely switch off my mind. So, and then meditate a bit, pray. I listen to a lot of prayers.
Brilliant. It's been wonderful, very inspiring listening to you, Raju. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.